This is the Novellino. It's a collection, a raccolta, of medieval short stories. And when I say short stories, I mean really short stories. It was likely an inspiration for Giovanni Boccaccio when he wrote the Decameron, which means that for those of you who love English literature, it's the inspiration behind the inspiration for Geoffrey Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. And the Novellino has possibly one of the best examples of the Tiffany problem in all of Italian literature. And that's what I want to discuss today. So, what is the Tiffany problem? Well, the Tiffany problem refers to when a historical fact that is a verifiable historical phenomenon seems so out of place for its own time that it's difficult for the average person to actually believe that it is a real fact. This is named after the fact that Tiffany, a name which seems like it can't be anything more than 200 years old, was in fact a pretty common shortening of the girl's name Theophany in the Middle Ages. And the Novellino has an excellent example of a linguistic feature that seems so much like modern English slang that it's difficult to believe it could possibly feature in a late medieval Italian work. I'm going to quickly read it out for you here so you get an idea of what I'm talking about. I'll read the whole story, it's very, very short, and you'll find a translation in the description. By the way, if you happen to speak Italian and I'm making mistakes in my pronunciation or my emphasis, please correct me there. I know that it's not perfect, and I do appreciate the opportunity to correct my pronunciation, but here we go. Novellino 29. Qui conta come I savi astrologi disputavano dal cielo impirio. Grandissimi savi stavano in una scuola a Parigi e disputavano dal cielo impireo, e molto ne parlavano desiderosamente e come stava di sopra gli altri cieli. Contavano il cielo dove Jupiter, Saturno e Mars, e quel del Sole, e di Mercurio, e della Luna, e come sopra tutti stavi l'imperio celeo. E sopra quello sta Dio Padre in maestate sua. Così parlando, venne un matto e disse loro: Signori, è sopra il capo di quel signore che ha? E l'uno rispose a Gabo: Avevi un cappello. Il matto se ne andò, e savi rimasero. Disse l'uno: Tu credi il matto aver dato un cappello, ma egli è rimaso. A noi? Or diciamo: Sopra capo è che ha. Assai cercarono le scienze, non trovarono niente. Allora dissero: Mate colui che si è ardito, che la mente metta di fuori dal fondo. E via più matto e forsenato colui che pena e pensa il sapere il suo principio, e senza avere uno senno chi vuol sapere i suoi profondissimi pensieri. In this extract, a group of astrologers are discussing the positions of celestial bodies. But what interests us here is not as much the story itself as a comparison that appears towards the end of the story. Some of the astrologers say that one who does a certain thing, one who says a certain thing, is matto, insane. But someone who does another sort of thing is via più matto. Via più matto. The literal translation for that is way more insane. And it's actually a great translation because it's semantically accurate. That's what it kind of is in English as well. And it's evident that in medieval Italian, at least the medieval Italian that the writer of the Novellino was speaking, via was also not merely a noun, as it usually appeared, but could also function as an intensifying adjective. Via più, way more. And maybe this does look out of place. But if we think about the semantic history, the kind of metaphor that is being applied here, it makes a lot more sense why both modern English and medieval Italian would apply a double meaning to the same word. You see, if you are on a way, you are on a path somewhere, and someone is further along that path than you, they are quite literally way ahead of you. They are way ahead of you. And from that very literal application, the word way in English and the word via in Italian come to assume a much more metaphorical sense and get to be applied as adjectives. Now, I found this really interesting when I came across it, and I'd like to know if in any of the other Romance languages you've noticed that, or maybe even not in a Romance language. Do you know of another language that sees this metaphorical transition from being literally further along a path to being much more, to exhibiting much more of some particular kind of quality. I'm interested to hear your thoughts below. So leave a comment behind if you know a language that this applies to, and I hope to see you in the next video. Arrivederci.